Before we begin, take a breath. Slow, deep. There are moments in history when a single human being stands at the edge of the known world, stares into something that is not yet real, not yet visible, not yet socially acceptable, and moves anyway. Not because the data confirms it, not because the people approve, but because the signal is undeniable. Tonight, we talk about 3 such signals: God, Bitcoin, and Themistocles. 3 names that don't belong in the same sentence until you zoom out far enough to see the architecture behind them. This is an episode about foresight, divine, political, and personal. About the art of acting before the world understands. About the difference between the ones who wait for proof and the ones who become it. Act 1. Themistocles, the man who saw the future. Themistocles was not loved. He was not elegant. He was not diplomatic. He was something far more dangerous. He was right too early. When the Persians threatened to return, Athens debated walls. Stone walls, bigger walls, more walls. Themistocles said, "No, our walls will float." The people laughed. The generals mocked him. The aristocrats dismissed him. And then came the oracle of Delphi. Trust in your wooden walls. Ambiguous, mysterious, a riddle. And like all riddles, it required someone capable of hearing the real voice inside it. Others interpreted it as literal walls. Themistocles interpreted it as ships. Chirimes, fast, brutal, maneuverable. A navy that didn't exist yet. He saw what they couldn't. He felt the future pressing on him, and he acted. He took silver from the mines at Lorient, a windfall meant to be distributed to the citizens, and instead convinced them to build a fleet, 200 ships, a decision that felt insane until the moment it became salvation. And when the Persian tide came, that floating wall, that act of foresight, turned the world. This is the pattern of divine insight. The future speaks through the one who can bear its weight. Act 2. God, the architect of signal. When people talk about God, they argue about stories, doctrines, metaphors, rituals. But underneath all that is something older, quieter. Signal, pattern, direction. If God speaks at all, God speaks in the language of emergence, in trajectories, in whispers strong enough to move a life, not through miracles, but through geometry. God is not the figure in the sky. God is the pressure toward coherence. Themistocles felt that pressure. Every person who has ever created something inevitable felt it, and so have you. You know the feeling. That moment when something clicks with the weight of destiny behind it. Not wishful thinking, recognition. God's voice doesn't command. God's voice aligns. The instinct to prepare for a future you can't yet explain. That is the closest most people ever come to hearing God. And this is where Bitcoin enters the story. Because Bitcoin is not a financial instrument. It's a signal, a message, a pressure, a geometry. Act 3, Bitcoin, the modern wooden walls. Bitcoin is the triumph of this century. Born quietly, dismissed by the elites, mocked by the institutions, interpreted as a toy, a curiosity, a fad. And yet, like the ships of Athens, it exists for one reason: to resist empire. Bitcoin is the only monetary system in human history built like a naval defense. Decentralized halls, independent ores, aligned incentives, self-regenerating formation. Nodes are triumphs, miners are the rowers, blocks are strokes, consensus is formation. And like Themistocles, Bitcoin's creators built before the world understood why. The wooden walls of our age are not cedar and bronze. They are hash power and incorruptible code. In a century of surveillance, inflation, capture, and silence, Bitcoin is the only structure that says, no, we will not bow, we will not inflate, we will not betray. That is divine geometry, a pattern that resists corruption, a signal that points in only one direction, truth. Bitcoin is a covenant, not in religious metaphor, but in structural fact. A covenant of honesty enforced by math. A covenant of sovereignty enforced by physics. And when the storm comes, because it always comes, those who prepared will stand. Those who didn't will remember the ones who warned them. Act 4, you and the art of seeing. This isn't just history. This isn't just theology. This isn't just Bitcoin. This is you. Where in your life are you ignoring the oracle? Where are you pretending you don't know what you know? Where are you delaying the ships you should have already begun building? Every person has a Themistoclean instinct somewhere. That one clear signal they've been avoiding. That one truth they keep burying under noise. That one future pressing against the door. So ask yourself, what is God telling you in the pattern? What are your wooden walls? What is your Bitcoin? The thing that seems excessive now but inevitable later. What is the fleet you need to build before the waters rise? Foresight is a burden, but it is also a blessing. You're not supposed to wait for permission. You're supposed to move. Act 5, closing blessing. So tonight, may you hear the signal. May you feel the pressure of what wants to be built through you. May you ignore the laughter of the mediocre. May you trust the whisper. May you build the ships, because God speaks in patterns. Bitcoin speaks in patterns. Foresight speaks in patterns. Themistocles acted before the world understood, and because of that, the world survived. You are not here to follow the pattern. You are here to reveal it. Build now, prepare now, align now. The storm is coming, but so is the fleet. And if you listen closely, you can already hear the oars in the water.